Why don't we give them something to read?
Hi, I'm Jade,
I'm Annabelle.
and welcome to our show. Today, we're diving into I, Medusa, written by Ayana Gray. If you're wondering whether this is worth your time, here's the vibe. A mortal daughter in a family of immortals fights for her place in this mythic feminist retelling. Trigger warning: rape, abuse of various kinds. Let's get into this. Judge that cover. What made you pick up the book?
This was my choice.
Yes,
book.
it was.
It's just pretty. I like that you could tell, even if it didn't say I Medusa on the cover. It's very Greek and you can tell it's Medusa.
Yeah.
And I like the gold and I don't know. I just thought it attracted me. I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty.
First, who doesn't want to know a little bit about Medusa? Because as you said, yeah, you look at this, you know that's Medusa. Hello here. A full story on her was, of course, something I'd want to read. And then, yeah, the cover, gold, green, a statue of Medusa. I also wanted to read it right
Love it.
away. And when you picked it, I was like, hell yeah, it's on my list already. What was your first impression of Medusa before the major events of the story began?
I thought that she wanted more from life, but also enjoyed the life she had. She loved her sisters, and Theo wanted her mom's love and disliked her father.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, what a child. She's 17, immortal in a family of immortals. She's basically been alone, fawned on by her sisters, and befriended only to a servant boy, Theo, all of her life. You know, I agree. She just wanted more for her, not even more for her life. She just wanted more.
Well, they all wanted to leave all the sisters wanted to just leave the island.
Yeah, because obviously when you have abusive parents, who the hell wants to stay around? But they couldn't leave because they were old gods and the new gods banished them essentially to this island where they had to stay. Yuck.
So they were still lower gods,
Yes, but
low on the totem pole, but that is where they stayed. They couldn't leave.
yeah, so times were different then, but she could not have been portrayed more as a child if the author tried. Ugh.
Hmm.
How did the temple environment influence Medusa's identities and choice?
I think that was the first time she felt her worth, and she realized that she was more than just mortal, because that is one big thing between her and her family. She was the only mortal child. Her
Mhm.
sisters and her parents all had powers and were gods. And up until then, she had no reason to prove anything. She just existed.
Yeah.
So she learned at the temple she could make a difference, and she excelled at the temple. But also that was like the place that really let her down as well.
Yeah, she was so desperate to get off her island and to have attention, and she got it from a god, Athena, I mean, the god of war,
Hmm.
but that she just blindly followed, in my opinion. Even in moments like when she was at the temple and she knew what was happening was wrong, she still chose Athena and the end goal of being a priestess, who, I mean, even though to me it was obvious Athena had her own injustice at her temple. I guess let's backtrack a little bit. How much did you know about Medusa in the beginning?
What I knew about Medusa was obviously that could turn people to stone. Also, that she was a sister, that she had sisters, that there was three of them. I thought that the way to kill her was to behead her. I didn't know before reading this that it's not like you had to kill her that way, but I thought that that's how you killed Medusa. But I knew nothing else about no history on her at all.
Yeah, I don't
I didn't
really
even know she was mortal.
I didn't know she was mortal either. I didn't actually know much about her besides that she couldn't look at people in the eyes because she would turn them to stone, and that, yeah, she was beheaded by someone who was a fucking man, of course. Afraid of a powerful woman. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of background on her before starting this. Surprisingly, just the basics of what everybody I would say knows her to be,
Yeah,
which is she turns men to stone.
because she's portrayed in movies and stuff.
Yeah, as the villain. So this was going to be a different book for sure. What details foreshadow Medusa's eventual fate?
So I to me it was the constant things you see with Athena. So how she would show jealousy, she would show her self-interest, and that there were moments that she was anytime Medusa or Medi, as they called her, would do something that would get people to like her, Athena would get jealous and say, "Hey, they're not supposed to like you. They're supposed to like me. They
God, that
should
moment
know."
was fucking crazy.
Yeah. They should know that it's me doing these things, not you. And Medusa never said, I am healing you. She would say, I will ask the goddess for you and pray to the goddess for you. And which then caused the people. I mean, Athena created it all because then the people were like, hey, we only want Medusa to pray because the goddess listens to her. We found out later that it wasn't Athena. So Athena is just so mad, but we also learn, I think, in that moment that the gods are only as strong as the people believe in them.
Yes.
The more belief that the people had in them, the more power they have. Cough,
Yep.
cough.
Yeah, indeed.
So she can't have somebody thinking that Medusa is like doing everything.
Nope. Hell no, not her.
So I feel like all the moments with Athena are what is not gonna let her succeed, basically.
I thought it was very on the nose with the snakes and her being partial to them because of her life on the island and spending most of her time in the garden.
Mhm.
Because, like, she finds that one snake. She's like, oh, hello, cute little thing. Let me throw you into the bed of my enemy. I was like, yeah, I mean, that's her fate. We all know it. But also the hyper focus on her locks was another sign, of what was going to come to pass.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That was a
Because,
big thing.
yeah, I mean, when we first meet Poseidon, he kind of looks at her and, when we talk about the sisters and they all focus on making sure that her locks are really well taken care of, I
Yeah,
suppose. Like there's a lot of on the nose of what is to become of Medusa because we
yeah.
all know what became of her. So I thought her fate was just too much on the nose for me personally. How did the author handle the assault emotionally and narratively?
Thought this was interesting. So the any assault that happened, that was sexual assault was mostly implied, except for Medusa and Poseidon's situation where they gave some narrative, but nothing descriptive, nothing like too crazy.
Mhm.
Emotionally, I was like, "Where? What? Nobody feels anything?" I did not think enough weight was given. And I put, I am assuming to show how things were, but also to not give the women of the story much voice. So, the mom is abused by the father, and she just kind of sucks it up and goes on about her day, doesn't talk about it, doesn't try to talk to her daughters about it.
She just drinks herself into a stupor.
Yeah. Like I feel like there was no emotional regarding those situations,
Mhm.
any emotional outlet.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, yes, we have the mother, but then we also have Apollonia, who is a friend to Medusa, who's another acolyte trying to become a priestess, and they become very close. Well, they go out on the town for a little celebration. I knew in that moment that they started drinking, I was like, oh shit, nothing good's going to come of this. And I will say it was horrible as a reader because you knew it was going to happen, but we never hear the details.
Mhm.
Like, it just was Medusa left because she had to go to the restroom, and then we don't hear from Apollonia again, like, until the next morning, and when we see her dress is tarnished, she's got shit all in her hair, she's a muddy mess, and she's obviously beaten the fuck up, and so, like, there was no connection to me for that,
Mhm.
and then for Medusa's scenes, we see it in few words. Of course, we all
Yes.
know what's coming. We don't need it descripted, but honestly, I felt nothing from it. It
Yeah.
wasn't emotional for me. I think there wasn't a good enough connection between her and Poseidon for me to even be shocked what was coming to pass. Because we all knew it from the moment she was like, he's very handsome. She's 17. We gotta remember this, people. She's 17.
And he's thousands of years
And
old.
he's married.
Gross.
And the first time Medusa ever sees anything sexual, because of course this is a time where you don't talk about that stuff, she didn't even know what the fuck was happening.
Yep, because she
Poseidon
saw
was rolling
Poseidon
around in the grass
with
with a
some
woman,
other, yeah.
and to her it looked like they were having a good old time,
Mhm.
but she didn't know what it was, and she didn't know the feelings that she was feeling. I had to look this up, I have to say. I had to look it up to see if this was a young adult book or an adult book. Which would you think after reading this it would be.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I read the back about the author, and it said this was her first adult book.
Yeah, but if you didn't know that
Oh, this is a young adult book.
exactly. This
Yeah.
was not an adult book. If you
No.
want me to feel something, then give me something.
Just looking at it, I thought it was a young adult book,
Yeah.
like, just the look of it.
Especially sexual assault. It's an ugly, horrific moment. And then for her herself to become ugly and horrific monster because of this moment almost is disgusting.
Mhm.
It almost infuriates me
It was
thinking about that. But like when I thought this was going to be a feminist, empowering, like read Medusa's story, I was pissed that this is kind of what came to be. So from handling it emotionally and narratively, terrible. In
yeah,
my opinion, I thought it was
those
terrible.
aspects of it almost it's like they were like a blip.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing came of it really.
So, this is just one of those that was like, it needed more weight
Yes.
for her story because that is her story. That is her story. And she saw it in her best friend. And she probably, even though she didn't know what was happening, I mean, you have to think it probably happened to her mother
Right.
as well. But yeah, it was just glazed over really for me. I hated that. It was gross. Which theme felt the strongest? Rage, survival, injustice, transformation, or resilience?
I could give an answer for each of these, but I would say rage because Athena struck Medi with rage. Medi's father struck her mother with rage. Her mother showed rage at Athena for taking her children. Medi raged at the priest who raped a 15-year-old girl. And there was also so much injustice towards women, which is important to the story. And
Yes.
lastly, injustice because Medi died from it.
Yeah, I put injustice 'cause that's how I felt in this entire book for the characters in it and honestly for the book itself. It just had such potential. It lacked any substance for me. We all know where this is going, right, people?
It seems like it.
I agree with the rage though, because she did have a lot of rage for
Yes.
sure.
And I think they say a couple of times that she just, that, or other people said, like, hey, don't fly off the handle. She had
Yeah.
like her mom's temperament.
Yeah. God damn it, don't tell a woman how to feel. I
Yes.
hate
You
it.
wanna piss a woman off more than she already is?
Go for it. I dare
Say the
you. It's my
following.
favorite, honestly. Did the novel make you sympathize with Medusa more deeply than a traditional mythology?
Definitely. And I put, as is commonly known, the gods play with mortals, and she was caught in the crosshairs. She was just a girl whose life was led by others, even her sisters in the end.
Yeah, if you read a traditional myth on Medusa and never sympathized with her, then you're the problem. As always, it was a man's fault, but to add salt to the wounds, it was also a god, Athena, who punished her for something she didn't want.
Yep.
I will always side with Medusa because literally in every mythology story, because I ended up reading a couple of them just to get some backstory on like what a true story for Medusa was. It was because Athena and Poseidon had a tiff with each other,
Yep.
and Athena was so chaste and pure as a goddess of war and wisdom and shit that she couldn't punish Poseidon because he was the brother to Zeus,
Mhm.
that she punished Medusa. Like,
Crazy.
that's just fucking for a woman who's supposed to be all woman and powerful and protecting them and stuff. She literally, in this book and in the Greek myths, just had no sense of woman power.
And let me
I'm
tell
embarrassed by her.
and let me tell you that mythology, real world, past, present, future, still the same situation happens with women.
Yep, it does. So yeah, I will always sympathize with Medusa. And just reading this does make it, I don't know, concrete.
Mhm.
Like it actually proves my point of she was never most
The
women
villain?
are never a monster.
Yeah, they're
We're the
created.
yep,
Mhm.
exactly. Which I think they say that in this book, don't they?
You're asking me if I remember a
I
damn
read
thing.
I read and somewhere in my little research of Medusa, they're like monsters are not born, they're created.
Yeah,
And
I
absolutely
agree with
agree.
that.
Yeah. Did the book portray fate as unavoidable, or did characters still have choices?
To me, fate was unavoidable in this story. Although Medi made changes and reacted due to outside stimuli, she always was led in a certain direction. So she was being led by somebody, by Poseidon. and then later by her sisters. Like, she never had a choice. It was gonna be what it was gonna be. She was never gonna be free.
That's what I said. I will say, I do believe that fate is made up of our choices. That said, this book never gave Medusa a chance after she left her island.
Yeah.
That was her first and only choice
Yeah.
that
She was
she made for
controlled from
herself.
that moment
Yeah,
on.
from that moment on, she was controlled by her father, by Athena, by Poseidon, by, her desire to be free and become a priestess so that she could continue to live this life because she loved it out
Mhm.
there in
Mhm.
Athens.
She found her calling,
Yeah.
helping people.
I mean, her story could have been so different
Mhm.
if it wasn't 'cause of a fucking man. My God, I
Mm.
hate men.
Boo.
But yeah, I think fate is not unavoidable, but our choices can lead us differently depending on it. Which part of the novel felt the most heartbreaking?
I had 3. First one is when she turns Theo to stone. He was gonna try to save her, even though a god was the one punishing her, and he was the only one that was gonna try to save her. So this is when Athena turns her into a gorgon, and she has the snakes. So she doesn't know that she can turn people to stone. So as Theo runs to her, they look each other in the eye, and bam, he's turned to stone. So he was always there for her. Second, it was heartbreaking that she was turned into a gorgon because of somebody else. So Poseidon rapes her
Yep.
and she gets punished.
Yes.
And so that
Oh,
was heartbreaking. And the last one is her murder.
yeah.
And not only that, but she's murdered on the order of Athena. But there was a lot of heartbreaking moments.
Yeah, yeah, definitely in the epilogue when her sister found her beheaded body. I
I
just
was
know the
surprised.
anguish in which she felt was devastating because those sisters fucking loved each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Although they controlled her.
initially, Medusa left the island with Apollonia because, people, once they figured out that there was an island that could be claimed and there were only 3 women on it, they were like, yes, bitches, we can take those girls out.
Yeah.
Take the island and its riches for ourselves.
And the
But,
men kept on coming.
and even though they were like, don't come back, we're going to kill you, and people would die.
Yeah. Tell everyone
Yes.
we will kill them.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, she left the island with her after she came onto shore with one man who thought he was gonna do the same fucking thing. And she still went back to her sisters.
Yeah.
It's so
Well,
crazy.
she went back to her sisters to save Apollonia.
Yeah, that's
That
yeah,
that's why
well,
she well, in her
yeah.
mind, she thought, "I have to leave because
Yeah.
they're looking for me."
But I thought that was definitely the most heartbreaking. I mean, could you imagine? Like, and they took the head. Like, you're finding your sister's beheaded body with no head.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That would be absolutely astounding. What secondary character deserves more attention or development?
Listen to me carefully. I mean, the story is called I, Medusa. I needed no info on anyone else.
I had so many. I wanted to know more about Theo, the sisters, the mother. I mean, but the person I wanted more development, like not even attention, but development was Apollonia. I feel like they tried to give her such a prominent point in Medusa's life because Apollonia was raped. Then she was kicked out of the priesthood because of it, because obviously you have to be chaste in order to be in Athena's priesthood. And Medusa knew it was wrong, tried to fight for her, but then kind of gave up on it. Even though she was thrown out, she was not accepted back by her family. She was like, we've been in this priesthood, all the women have for generations. I can't be kicked out. They'll never accept me back. What am I going to do? And we don't find out anything else until she pops up on this dude's boat by his side as a slave. And Medusa's like, oh my God, look at who it is. They fall in love, which I read a comment, and I hate when I read comments sometimes because then it changes my perspective. But I liked this comment because it was, I don't like how they threw their romance at me because of men's,
Like men's actions?
yeah, exactly. Like, it was a queer person who said this. And I like that because they were like, that's not good representation. It feels forced. Like,
I think that they had that connection
I thought
in
so
the
too because
beginning.
they danced together at
They
one
danced
point.
together, they were close, they were even, like, at one point, they talk about, like, their physical closeness to
Mhm.
each other. There I think there was already something there.
I still didn't like it though because again, I didn't feel any connection to her. I didn't
I
have
think
enough about her.
I saw it as, like, you're gonna hate this, gave you hope
God damn you.
that the story was gonna end well. Because I didn't treat this book as mythology. I treated it as someone took a character from mythology and said, "Let me write a story about her." So I didn't expect an accurate retelling
I didn't
of
expect that either. I mean,
so I did not
I
I'm
didn't even
telling
have
you,
any
I was like,
information.
"She's gonna live forever, and her and Apollonia are gonna have the best life ever." I was like, "She has suffered enough."
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we could have used a little bit more attention on some characters. Even though, yes, like you said, it is called I, Medusa.
Also, it was short enough to add a little more stuff,
Oh,
but
it was
yeah.
definitely short enough. Did the ending leave you satisfied emotionally?
I wanna say that even though it ended with Medusa's death, um, and in every story she dies. It was tragic. It left me feeling sad because in the end, she was always a good person. She did her best to be good, and in spite of being controlled by 2 gods that had their own thing. They had
Yeah.
their own thing with each other, and for some reason, because she was selected and seen as the favorite of Athena, Poseidon's like, how can I ruin things for Athena in his
Mhm.
mind? Meanwhile, destroying this poor girl's life.
Yeah. I no. I put no. I did not like it. I'm not sure if the point of not showing us Medusa's death was to make it more impactful by seeing it through her sister's eyes, but it felt
Mhm.
cheap to me.
Oh, I felt it. I literally went, I
I did not.
was
And I
mad.
think the little hunt that the sisters did amounted to nothing. Literally, it amounted to that epilogue was the worst epilogue
Mm,
I've ever read in my entire life, and I wish they wouldn't have even included it. It would have been more hopeful, even though we know the story of Medusa and her life and what happens, to just not even have that ending because it ends really beautifully. I mean, she's on the beach, I think, alone by herself,
mhm.
and then cut to the epilogue, and it's like the sister walked into the room and found a headless body.
It was. I thought it was, and to me, it was impactful.
Yeah, no, I hated it, and so the sisters go off to hunt to find the guy who killed their sister and to get her head back, but they never it goes they gave up, they never found her head and went back to the island. I'm like, "Wait, what? What? That was it?"
It's all God play. It's all the gods playing around. You ain't gonna find nothing. And if you found it, what were you gonna do, huh?
I mean, God, luck. If you
Well, I guess I know the answer to this next question.
if you could rewrite one character's ending, who would it be?
Well, I want Medusa and Apollonia to have a happy ever after.
I put Apollonia. She deserved so much better by every single person in her life. Her story, though not told, of what happened after Medusa, you know it had to be a sad and lonely one because she speaks a little bit about how she tried to go back to her family's home and they were like, "Fuck you, no, live on the streets."
Mhm.
And her one brother tried to help feed her, but obviously she had to do shit to eat and to make
She had to
money
live
and
on the
then
streets.
ended up a slave. I can't imagine that she would have been spared either by Medusa's actions. So they lived together for however little long that they lived together at this little island near Egypt, I want to say. It was like near Cairo.
Mhm.
But yeah, like a priest raped this 15-year-old girl. The girl was pregnant. And of course, it happened to be Athena's priest.
Yeah.
And Medusa was like, fuck that. I'm gonna do something about this. Even though Apollonia was like, please don't do that. We have a nice life here. Like they
Yep.
live in peace. They live in secret. Nobody's looking after them. And, Medusa has a head full of snakes now, but because of where they're at, every woman covers their hair and stuff there. So, they could have lived a really happy life, but instead, Medusa just was like, "Nope, can't do that." Kills the priest. And you're telling me nothing happened to Apollonia?
So,
You can't tell me nothing came from Apollonia. Everybody would have known that they were together.
But it doesn't mean oh, I
She
see.
could have been in prison simply for being connected to Medusa
But we don't know
and
that she
tortured.
wasn't.
Well, exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Medusa has hope that nothing happened to her.
Right,
We
that's why
don't
she
have
left
we don't have any idea what happened to her.
until she comes back later. I wondered about her the whole time.
Yeah, I did too, but we'll never know. They never talk about her again. We're just left wondering.
Yeah, but you can infer what happened to her because
I infer that she died. They imprisoned her
oh,
forever.
yes, yeah, we can assume she died, but then when she comes back, you're like, "Oh, she survived, but she's a shell of her former self."
Yeah, you could. I would have changed her ending. Not Medusa's. Medusa's always had to stay the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could change her entire ending. But it would have been boring.
Yeah. Happy ending,
We
boo!
we would have had just a normal ending, like halfway in the book.
Yeah, I would've ended a while ago.
So you didn't answer this one, but I answered this
Yes, I'm
one.
excited.
Who would you cast in a movie? So for Medusa, I picked Whitney Peak. She's going to be in the upcoming Hunger Games, and she was in Sabrina as Judith in like the last season. I don't know if you finished it yet or not.
I did
And
finish
then
it.
she was
For
in Hocus.
Medusa?
Yeah. And then she's also in Hocus Pocus too.
Yes, girl, yes.
Yeah, she's perfect,
Yep,
right?
yep, 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 yep. Love it. Okay.
Okay. For Apollonia, I picked Mika Abdallah, and she's in Off Campus
Oh.
as Allie. And I thought she would have made a very good choice. Apollonia.
Okay, yes, she definitely could look like a street urchin.
Yeah, if because
She
she's
could
got the
be
tan.
yeah, she could be a priestess
Yep.
or, yeah, someone
Yep.
who's just been, like, completely
So
defeated.
when she gets a darker tan, I think she would have that good complexion. And then for Poseidon, okay,
I'm so excited.
no one hate on me. We're gonna cut this out because I know this was a book of color, but Poseidon to me, and people had a lot of problem with this, with it being a book of color, uh,
Why?
because
I could get into so many things.
mythology, they are white.
Yeah.
That area would have been white. Anyways, I picked for Poseidon.
Okay, that area would not have been white, but okay.
Luke Evans, but younger. Because in The Hobbit, Dracula, and Immortals, oh man.
I don't see him.
Look him up when he's God, Immortals. You've seen Immortals, haven't you?
Oh, probably, but so long ago?
Oh man, he's so handsome in that. I think he played Zeus in that, which is
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, I see, I see. I see, I see, I see.
Yeah, you see the six packs, right?
I see this one right here. That's somebody else. That's my husband.
Oh yeah, he's so handsome. Oh.
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. How tall is he? Poseidon's supposed to be tall and
You
strong.
probably would have picked what's his fucking bucket that I hate
Oh,
because he's every fucking where. Jacob.
yeah, that's funny.
Look.
That's funny.
And then for Athena, I picked Deborah Ann Wool from True Blood and Daredevil.
Oh, yeah.
Because they describe Athena in this one as having blood red hair. And I was like,
Yes.
oh.
I really like her.
I like her too. And I think she would make, because in True
It's a
Blood,
good
she
one.
had some like mean moments. I think she would have played someone who was supposed to be so chaste and beautiful and kind as also somebody who's a lying bitch.
Yeah, she can play. Yeah, she can play both.
Yep. Now let's get to the fun part. What did you rate it?
5 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Wow.
And that's being very kind. The desire to lower it is there. I actually lowered it. I started off at 3.
Did
And
you?
I was like, no, I hate it more and more that I think about it. And even now I'm like, I might lower it one more. Can I go to 0? I might be able to, honestly.
That's crazy. You're gonna give it a 0. So for me, I read this book very easily, and that's one thing that like minimum 1 just for that.
Did I finish the book? 1.
Yeah, and then I thought the story flowed very well, and I really liked it. I did like the story. It was so easy to read.
I don't. Maybe you think it was easy to read because it was so boring.
I don't know. I gasped
Yeah.
at the end.
See, no, I didn't like it. I thought it was a very poor representation of Medusa. And for an adult novel,
Okay, if you said rate it based on the fact that it's supposed to be an adult novel, then I'd be like, "That's not an adult this is not an adult
I look
novel."
at a lot more than how it
I'm
was.
curious as to what her other books that are for young adults are like,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
w
honestly, they're probably good.
well, if you're going yeah, you're expecting it.
Yeah, if you're going and expecting that. Who would you recommend it to?
I would recommend it, and anyone who enjoys fantasy and mythology, um, if you're a scholar of mythology, no.
Yeah, probably shouldn't read this.
No, unless you enjoy all these little stories like this, but, yeah, anyone who likes fantasy, mythology, Medusa.
I would only recommend it to girls aged probably 14 to 18 who don't know about Medusa, who have no background on it.
Mm, mhm.
And then after want to learn what, true mythology on her is. I,
Mhm.
I think it would be a good enough introduction
Yeah,
to Medusa, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
this is not
Honestly.
it's not an adult book. I mean,
No, it's not an adult book.
I would not recommend it for anyone who's not into fantasy, mythology, or anyone who's sensitive to topics that have trigger warnings,
Yeah,
basically.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, that's it for today's episode of Give Them Something To. Now I need to know, what did you think of I Medusa? Come yell at us on Instagram at Give Them Something to Jade or Give Them Something to Annabelle.
Or give them something to podcast.
Don't forget to follow, rate, and share with your fellow besties.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.